Well, you might remember it as the year that Dallas hosted the Super Bowl. Big freeze happened that year. I'll always remember that week as the week that I lost my life. I always wanted to live my life for God. Always wanted to do it on my own terms. I found myself up and down all the time. Where I was in my life, I felt like I was so far away from God. I didn't know where I was going. And so I ended up in the hospital that day, thinking it was pneumonia. I went in and they admitted me. Several hours later, it was quite a few hours later, they had determined that I had a heart attack. Because of the weather, because of that big freeze, it was really difficult for the cardiologist to get in. So I had about an hour where it was just me and God. And at that point in time, I'll be honest, I didn't even know if I was a Christian anymore. I was so confused. And so here I found myself being rushed to ICU in the throes of a heart attack. And I felt God speak to me. He said, "Well, John, do you want to stay or do you want to go? Choose life or death at this point." What I found myself doing was trying to find reasons to go ahead and go. But there was something deep down inside me that said, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. If you want to stay, you can fulfill that purpose. I'm going to do it with you. And so I said, God, I'd like to stay if that's okay with you. And I said, but I do actually have some conditions. And the first one was that I wanted to be remembered for doing something good, because at this point in my life, I really hadn't done anything of value in my mind. Two, I wanted to live every day, not just be alive. I never felt like I lived. I always was just trying to get by. And then three, I wanted to touch as many people as I could while I was on the planet. All I could say was I felt an energy in the hospital room, still waiting for the cardiologist. I felt this energy that just consumed me, and it was almost like I felt God dancing. That's what it felt like. Like he was so excited that I made the right decision. None of those things were out of selfishness. I realized that if I was to stay here, I wasn't staying here for me because I was ready to go. I was staying here for what I could do for others. And I knew I had a purpose. I came home, and then within 6 months, God gave me this idea for the Good Contractors List. I'm not the right guy for it. I wouldn't pick me to do this job. But what's been amazing is that God has built this, and because of my lack, because of the things that I don't know, I can say God gets full glory for what he's done out of this. On that day, I was supposed to choose life or death. I thought I chose to live, but I actually chose to die that day. I died to who I was. I died to everything that I want out of life, and I took on his life that day. And he lives through me, and he's living through my business. And he's using my business as a platform so that I can reach others with a message of hope that Christ came not for selfish reasons, but to lay down his life so that he can live through us. How awesome is that we can share that? That's the day I died.